Scales are the key to writing music. The notes of a scale complement each other and can be used together to create chords, melodies, and harmonies, giving you a solid foundation to build or write your own songs, as well as learn your favorite pieces from other musicians. The first scale we are going to learn is the C major scale. There are no sharp or flat notes in the key of C, and partly because of this, it is the most common key used for teaching and playing music. Later on, when we learn modes, we will refer to the C major scale as the C Ionian mode. The two are identical. There are three ways that we're going to learn the C scale. They all use the same exact notes, but each gives us a different fingering position. In the first box, we see a C scale which uses open positions. Also, notice that this scale only includes one scale note from the third string or starting string. It is important to play this with your second or middle finger. The next three notes are on the second string, starting with D open, no frets, no fingers, then E on the second fret, played with your first finger. And next is F on the third fret, played with your second finger. Next we move to the first string, playing the open G note, followed by the A note on the second fret, played with the first finger, B on the fourth fret, played with the third finger, and end on C, played with the fifth fret with your fourth finger. So altogether, we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Let's move on to the middle note chart for an inversion that lets us play the same exact notes in a different position. Where before we only played one note on the starting string, here we are going to play two notes, starting with C on the third fret. Next, stretch to the D note on the fifth fret, played with your pinky or fourth finger. Now we move to the second string notes, playing E on the second fret with your first finger, F on the third fret with your middle finger, followed by G on the fifth fret, played with your pinky. Next we play three notes on the first string to finish up the scale, starting with A on the second fret, index finger, B on the fourth fret, ring finger, and on C, our root note with your pinky on the fifth fret. All together, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. Our final inversion allows us to play three notes on our starting string. So on the third string, start with our root note, C. This time we'll play it with our index finger. Next, stretch your middle finger up to the D note on the fifth fret. Then stretch your pinky up to the E note on the seventh fret. C, D, and E. The next string uses the same exact fingering. So on the second string, we play F on the third fret, G on the fifth fret, A on the seventh fret. To finish up on the first string notes, we play B on the fourth fret, then end on C, the root note. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now let's play all three inversions with the tempo, forward and back at 150 beats per minute, and then double time at 300 beats per minute, or 300 BPM. When someone refers to the key of C, they are referring to the natural scale, or C major, or C Ionian scale. When someone refers to the key of A, they are referring to the key of A major or A Ionian. A major is the C to C natural scale pattern, or scale degrees, but applied to the A note as the root. The distance between notes can be measured with whole steps and half steps. A whole step is equal to 2 frets on the guitar. A half step is equal to 1 fret. When you want to change the key of a scale or a song, just apply the same pattern of whole steps and half steps to the key you wish to play in. For example, the C natural major scale from root to root is made of a whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, and a half step. This formula will apply to any key of music, regardless of what key it is, A, B, C, D, or any other key. This whole step, half step, whole, half formula will always make a major scale. So if we move from C as our root note up 1 fret to the D flat note and apply the same scale formula, we are now playing a D flat major scale. If we move up 1 more fret and apply the same formula, we are in the key of D. The next note on the 6th fret of the 3rd string is an E flat note. So this is the key of E flat, or the E flat scale. The 7th fret of the 3rd string brings us to an E note, or an E major scale. The 8th fret is F. The 9th fret is F sharp. The 10th fret is G. The 11th fret is G sharp. The 12th fret is A. The 13th fret is B flat. The 14th fret is B. And the 15th fret is the C octave. I'd also like to demonstrate that some of these patterns repeat in the open position as well. For example, the 12th fret was an A note. Our 3rd string open is an A note. So if we apply the same formula of half steps and whole steps, we have an A major scale. Applied to the 1st fret, we have another way to play our B flat major scale. The 2nd fret is B, and as we know, the 3rd fret is C. Next, we have the minor scale, which will give your music an entirely different feel. There are 3 notes that change when we compare the minor scale to the major scale. The root and 2nd notes are the same, but the 3rd is 1 fret lower. This is called a minor 3rd or flat 3rd. The 4th and 5th tone, or interval, are the same as the major scale, but the 6th is 1 fret lower. So this is considered the minor 6th or flat 6th. Next, the 7th tone is 1 fret lower, but rather than calling this the flat 7th or minor 7th, it is considered the dominant 7th tone. So instead of playing C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, we now have C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C. The formula is a whole step, half step, whole, whole, half, whole, whole. Here is the minor scale played at a tempo, first slow, then fast. The major pentatonic scale is the same as our major scale, minus the 4th and 7th interval, or scale note. Instead of playing C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, we now play C, D, E, G, A, C. This scale is used in all styles of music, primarily blues and country. Here are 2 ways to play the major pentatonic scale. For the first inversion, play C with the middle finger on the 3rd string, 3rd fret, followed by D played with the pinky on the 3rd string, 5th fret. E is played with the index finger on the 2nd string, 2nd fret, then G with the pinky on the 2nd string, 5th fret. The 1st string notes use the same fingering for A on the 2nd fret, then end on C, our root note, on the 5th fret. The next inversion has us playing 3 notes on the 3rd string. Play C using your index finger on the 3rd fret, D with your 3rd finger on the 5th fret, then slide your position up 2 frets so that your 3rd finger is on the 7th fret for the E note. This slide puts your fingers in place for the next 2 strings, G on the 5th fret, A on the 7th fret, and end on C with your index finger, 1st string, 5th fret. The C minor pentatonic scale is similar to the minor scale, less the 2nd and 6th scale tones. So instead of playing C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, the minor pentatonic is C, E flat, F, G, B flat, C. Here are 2 common ways to play the minor pentatonic scale. Starting on the 3rd string, index, pinky, 2nd string, index, ring, and 1st string, index, ring. The next inversion has us start with the 3rd finger on the C, then move to the 2nd string, 1st fret, played with the 1st finger, 3rd fret, 3rd finger, slide the 3rd finger up to the 5th fret. This puts us in place for the 1st string notes. 1st finger on the 3rd fret, and end on C, 3rd finger, 5th fret. Traditionally, the minor pentatonic scale has been considered the blues scale. In recent years, it has become common to see a minor pentatonic with an added flat 5th tone referred to as the blues scale. There's the flat 5th, 5th, 7th, and octave. In our scale, we have two different C notes, one low in pitch and one higher in pitch. This is called an octave. The higher octave note is exactly double the frequency or pitch as the lower octave. Or, if you want to look at it the other way, the lower octave is exactly half the pitch of the higher C. Learning to find octaves on the bass guitar is a fast way to learn your way around the fretboard. Here are some formulas for helping you find octaves quickly and easily on your bass guitar. You can find the octave of any note down 2 strings and up 2 frets. So if we are playing the F note on the 1st fret of the 4th string, the F octave will be on the 2nd string 3rd fret. If you play the open E on the 4th string, the octave E will be on the 2nd string 2nd fret. If you go up to D on the 4th string 10th fret, the same 2-string 2-fret formula applies. The octave is on the 2nd string 12th fret. As we already know, the C note on the 3rd string 3rd fret has an octave on the 1st string 5th fret. If we move it up 1 fret, we have C sharp or D flat. Both share the same name. Up another fret to the 5th fret, and we have D. The octave on the 1st string would be on the 7th fret. Depending on your personal goals as a musician, you may want to learn to play each of these scales beyond the scope of 1 octave. Since the bass guitar fretboard repeats itself many times, we have several options for playing each scale higher or lower on a bass guitar. To demonstrate, let's take the C scale and apply our octaves to find lower extensions. So far, we have only been playing the scale from C to C. By playing our scale descending and applying octaves, we find that there are lower extensions for the scale. From C, we have a lower B note on the 3rd string 2nd fret. There's also an A note, which is an open 3rd string. There is a G note on the 4th string 3rd fret. F on the 4th string 1st fret. And the open 4th string is an E note. So now you could use all 4 strings to play the notes from the C major scale. Any note you are playing can be duplicated up 1 string and 5 frets. For example, the 3rd string 3rd fret C note can also be played on the 4th string 8th fret. Up 1 string from the 3rd to the 4th string and up 5 frets to the 8th fret. Here we can now apply the same scale pattern to this C note to play in an alternative scale position. When you reach the octave C, you can keep adding to your scale using your knowledge of octaves. These same rules apply to 5 and 6 string basses. For example, on a 5-string bass, an octave note is still up 2 strings and down 2 frets. The natural scale, as we know, consists of the major and minor key. It also consists of 5 others. Just as there are 7 notes in the natural scale, there are 7 modes as well. They are the Aeolian, Locrian, Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, and Mixolydian. A mode is another name for a scale. When playing the natural scale, we know that if our focus is on the A note, or in other words, we make A our root note, we are playing the minor scale. Technically, this natural scale, A to A, is called the Aeolian mode. Here is a list of each mode in the natural scale. The natural scale A to A is called the Aeolian mode. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. The natural scale B to B is called the Locrian mode. B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. The natural scale C to C, which we know is our major scale, is also called the Ionian mode. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. The natural scale D to D is called the Dorian mode. D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. The natural scale E to E is called the Phrygian mode. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. The natural scale F to F is called the Lydian mode. F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. And the natural scale G to G is called the Mixolydian mode. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. These are technical definitions, and that is why I've saved them for this part of the video. In one sentence, it can be summed up to this: all 7 modes equal 1 natural scale. So you have been playing all 7 modes since the beginning of this video. You now know the Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, and Locrian scales, or modes, in every key and every position on the guitar. Remember, the fretboard repeats itself after the 12th fret. Also, these modes derive from the natural scale patterns. So when you convert the natural scale to numbers or scale degrees, instead of C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, you now call it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then 8 or 1 again for the octave. You can then convert the modes to fit in the key that you wish to play in. For example, when you were playing the natural scale D to D or 2 to 2, you were playing the Dorian mode. If you change to the key of G and play A to A or 2 to 2, you are playing the A Dorian mode. Try experimenting with different modes in place of the major and minor scales. For example, you might like the sound of A Dorian over an A minor chord. Or, since the F chord is made up of the notes F, A, and C, try A Dorian over an F. Since C is part of the F chord, try C Locrian over an F. You can also mix these up in a rhythm progression. One measure, you might go from an F chord to an F major run. In the next measure, you might go from F to an A Dorian run. Then from F to a C Dorian run. Experiment with all of the modes. Then, once you get familiar with what works best for you, mix in your favorite techniques and applications. Let's run through all of the modes applied to C as our root. Many of these scales come from different cultures around the world. While there is no popular form or theory of practice in using these in popular music styles, they still find their way into the mainstream from time to time. When exploring these scales, try adding them to songs and progressions you already play. While they may not always work, you will find some amazing phrases to add to your bass guitar playing. melodic minor scale is very unique because it takes our minor and incorporates a major sixth instead of a minor sixth, and a major seventh instead of a minor seventh. It is also unique because some styles of music play it differently on the descent as they do on the ascent. In classical music, it's common to play the melodic minor ascending and then play the natural minor descending. However, in popular music, there are many styles that will play the melodic minor both ascending and descending. For more guitar and bass instruction material, please visit www.mjspublications.com. There you will find information on our best-selling Total Scales Techniques and Applications series, now available in DVD format for guitar and bass guitar. Our Easy DVD series for guitar and bass, including Easy Theory, Easy Scales, and Easy Chords. Our Beginner series, DVD number 1, Beginner Basics and Beyond, for guitar and bass guitar. And our complete Bass Guitar by Ear CD series, teaching essential music theory simply by listening and playing along with your bass guitar. This title is also available for guitar. For these and many other exciting methods, please visit mjspublications.com or call toll-free 1-866-463-9247.